What is up, guys? I wanted to bring you my review on the Specialized Sub6 road shoes today. Last year, I rode in these Giro Empire shoes, and you've seen me do a review on them before. So these are the shoes. They look a little more beat up than they did last year. You can kind of see they've taken some falls. One of them's missing a cleat right now. But I really liked these shoes. They were really solid. They did well. I didn't really have any problems with them. The only real problem that I had with them was that they kind of fit weird. They were a little bit on the big side. And I don't know if maybe fixing that by going down a smaller size would have been an option. But when I bought them, I didn't have that option of going down to a smaller size. This was the closest size they had that fit me. And it fit me pretty darn well. And I tweaked the fit by using inserts, and they served me just fine. As you can see, they've held up pretty well. I really like that this back part is replaceable. I haven't actually replaced them, but you can kind of see, if I move it up closer to the screen, you can see that they are pretty beat up, but it is nice that they were replaceable. So that's what I was riding. This past season, I rode the Specialized Sub6 shoes. I really liked these shoes. When they first came out and they announced them, I thought they looked awesome. They look pretty similar to the Giros, and you'll see that when I take them out of the bag. You saw me do the unboxing. I was really impressed. My first impressions were that they were really nice. Everything looked quality. So let's take them out of the bag. So these shoes have about a season's worth of riding on them, maybe a little bit less. I got them back last April and rode them all year long, except I didn't. This is the second pair that I actually have gotten. The first pair that I've got, and I'll try and show you here, these portions of the shoes right here where the laces are at are kind of soft. So if you can see that the material is starting to pull up. And what actually happened with my first pair was the lace pulled right through the shoe, just completely through it. And it was actually right before a race in the middle of the summer. So what I had to do was just improvise and tie it around my foot. And it worked out fine, but it was really kind of upsetting. Now, I will say Specialized was awesome. They warrantied the shoes. No problems, no questions about it. And I got these. So these are my second pair. I haven't had any issues with this pair yet. Hopefully I don't. But let's go ahead and get into the actual review of the shoes. So as you can see, like I said, these shoes look pretty similar. They both have vents on the sides. The Specialized has a little bit more venting. You can see that both pairs of shoes do actually have carbon soles. The laces are pretty similar. These are the Specialized laces, and I will say they are a little bit thinner than the Giro laces that come with the shoes. Whatever. If you want to change laces, you can. I'm actually probably going to get new laces soon because, as you can see, these ones are starting to get chewed up a little bit. So let's talk about just the Specialized shoes now. One thing that I really like about these shoes is the way that they fit. The fit is super nice, super tight, and I don't feel like I can move my foot around at all, which is good because when I feel like I can move my foot around, I start to get a little bit of foot pain. It could just be me. It could actually be happening, but I like the way that they fit. It's really taut fit. It is a little bit difficult to get your foot in. I usually have to pull the laces out probably down to about the third eye hole to get my foot in, but once my feet are in, the fit is perfect. I love it. Another issue that I had with the first pair of shoes was the bolt holes. You can't see them right now, but the bolt holes, if you put your hand inside, you can actually feel where the holes are at in the shoe. And on the first pair of shoes that I had, the bolt actually pushed the mounting hole out of the sole of the shoe itself. I don't know how it happened. I was able to just pop it back in, but it's worth mentioning. The other thing that I really had an issue with when it happened was one day I was going and putting the shoes on, and What happened was I pushed my heel down onto this piece accidentally, and the plastic support piece on the shoe actually separated from the fabric material. It doesn't really affect the shoe, the way the shoe fits or anything like that, but it was something that I was kind of upset with when I first had it happen to me. I've been riding them ever since it happened. I haven't had an issue with it. I just am a little bit more careful when I put the shoes back on. Versus the Giro shoes, these do not have replaceable heels. I'll zoom in here for a second. So the heel on this one is kind of a rubbery material. It's not the hard plastic like the Giro, and as far as I know, it is not replaceable. Both the Specialized shoe and the Giro shoe do have this little strap here so that you can tuck your laces in once everything's tied up. I do find that the Specialized strap for your laces actually lasted longer. The elasticity has lasted longer than the Giros did. This one is not kind of loose, and I don't feel like my laces are ever going to fall out. So when you buy these shoes, and you saw this in the unboxing video, you get an extra pair of laces that I still have here, which is pretty convenient. I haven't had to use them yet. If I replace these laces with these, it'll look the same. You can see they're a little bit brighter. These are a little dingy. Makes sense. I've been riding them for a whole season. The shoes also come with one of Specialized's big selling points was shoe covers. And they look like this. So here's the front. Here's the bottom. You can see they call them the warp sleeves. Says the wind tunnel on it. That's kind of Specialized branding for their aerodynamic stuff. And they are side specific. So this one in particular is the right side shoe. Now, it's a really cool idea to include aero shoe covers. They do look pretty cool when you have them on. Just kind of the look of the really smooth shoe with these on. However, these are a pain in the ass to put on. Every time that I've put them on or taken them off, I've always felt like I was going to break them. Whether it's tearing or ripping or whatever. So this is about where I would normally wear the shoes, tightness and everything wise. So we're going to try and get this on. So we've got it over the top. Now we want to make sure we're over the cleat. We are. Pull it back down. And it's on. So like I said, it does look pretty cool once you've got it on. But it's kind of a pain in the ass to get on and off. Let's go ahead and try and take it off. So it's off. There we go. Now if you don't mind adding another minute or two to each shoe to get this on and off, whatever. I think it's kind of a pain. Keep in mind that these have been put on and off a few times, so they are a little bit stretched out, which makes it a little easier to get on. But I really just don't see the value in it, especially if you're just going out for a group ride or whatever. If you want to put them on before a race, feel free. I believe that Specialized says that these shoe covers, are worth a few seconds in a 40K TT. I don't ever race TTs. I actually hate them, so it's not really an issue for me. I also have team shoe covers, which are much easier to put on, so I don't really have a use for them. Like I said, though, they do look cool. One other thing I did want to mention about the fit of the shoes is if you take a look inside here, you'll see that the heel actually has some kind of soft padding inside. And what this does is it keeps the shoe in place on the back of your ankle. And it feels really, really weird the first time, probably, the first through the 10th time you put the shoes on, because I've never really had a cycling shoe that had that back there. And I actually thought that they were going to fit terribly when I first tried them on, because you feel that those padding on the back of your ankle, and it kind of feels like when you wear a really bad dress shoe and it's going to rub the back of your ankle a bunch and just give you terrible, terrible blisters, but it doesn't. Even if it feels that way, I've never had a blister from these shoes. Like I said, I love the way they fit. Durability-wise, you can see that the bottoms of the soles do get scratched up. I mean, it's carbon. You can't really expect them not to get scratched up, but I haven't had any issues with that. These are the pair that I've been riding more. The first pair that I got replaced had only been riding for 2, maybe 3 months before the lace actually tore through the shoe. But like I said, Specialized took care of it. They just replaced them, no questions asked. I had new shoes the next week. I do have BG Fit soles inside that are the ones that fit my feet the best, as well as you can kind of see in here this orange piece right here. These are shims that fit me as well. But I mean, you're going to get that with any shoe if you want them to fit correctly. 5 out of 5 scales. I would give these shoes looks. I would give them a 5 out of 5. I think they look great. They're awesome. They're not as bright as the Giros because the Giros have the lettering across the side and the colorful back, but these shoes are awesome looking. They look great when they're on. They look great when you're on the bike. Awesome. 5 out of 5 on looks. Durability, because of the issues that I had with the first pair, I'm going to probably give it a 3 out of 5. And that's an iffy 3, so maybe 2.5, 3 out of 5. Because I did have that problem with the lace pulling through and the bolt pushing the mounting hole out of the shoe, as well as that issue I had with the back coming unglued from the shoe itself. Fit-wise, I'm going to give these, again, a 5 out of 5. They fit awesome. I haven't had any issues with them ever fitting wrong. I love them. I love the way they fit my feet. Your mileage may vary. They are a little bit more narrow than some other shoes, but the way that Specialized shoes fit, they have always fit me well. Before I had the Giros, I had a different pair of Specialized shoes that I wore for almost 6 years, and I just finally had to get rid of them because the carbon sole came unattached from the shoe itself. So I really like the way they fit. Ventilation, breathability, all that is awesome. I've never had an issue with my feet getting too hot or my feet getting too cold. So I would say maybe 5 out of 5 for that one as well. Price. Now, I got these through our team's deal with our bike shop sponsor. I know they're kind of expensive, but I believe that they're just as expensive as these Giros. And I mean, these shoes pretty much take up the same category as far as quality and level of product. So I would say for the price, you're getting an awesome shoe. Just make sure that if you do have an issue with the shoe, take it to wherever you bought it right away and ask them to see if Specialized will warranty it. Specialized is pretty good about their warranties. The only thing I've ever had Specialized not warranty was the very first pair of shoes that I had, and it's because they were 6 years old. I had gotten so much use out of them, and the shoe just was falling apart from use. So if I had to choose which of these I would buy again, I would buy the Specialized shoes. As much as I like the Giros, I had so much more trouble getting them to fit correctly when I first bought them than I did the Specialized. I was able to take my soles and take my inserts and put my cleats on where they needed to be and just immediately put these shoes on and not have any issues. And that was not the case with the Giros. That's my review. I hope you guys liked what I had to say. I would love to hear if you have these shoes, what you think of them. Leave a comment down below. If you liked the review, please like the video. And if you want to see more stuff like this in the future, go ahead and click that subscribe button.